Harry Styles has clapped back at conservative commentator Candace Owens and looked oh so stylish doing it, by the way. But as a little refresher course, it all started when Candace Owens tweeted that she actually had a criticism over Harry Styles' cover of Vogue when he was wearing a skirt, saying, among other things, bring back manly men. Well, Harry took to Instagram Wednesday morning with a new photo, captioning it, get it, with Candace's words, bring back manly men. That's literally all it said. He didn't even say where this photo was for or where it was from. And then the back and forth continued. Candace actually responded to Harry's response with a tweet saying, when people try to tell me I don't have influence, and then Harry Styles dedicates an entire post to my tweet, I inspire global conversation. Hashtag bring back manly men. Shots fired. Cass, not only were shots fired, but I think she's missing the point here that Harry was taking the power back.
1,000%. And he's continuing to keep that power now, covering Variety magazine as the 2020 Hitmaker of the Year. And he's once again opening up about how he challenges traditional gender boundaries through his fashion. Harry says, quote, to not wear something because it's female's clothing, you shut off a whole world of great clothes. And I think what's exciting about right now is you can wear what you like. It doesn't have to be X or Y. Those lines are becoming more and more blurred. Denny, what are your thoughts on Harry, talking about this again, because he did open up about this in Vogue as well, and now he's kind of
Yes.
doubling down on his thoughts as.
And now he's sticking it to Candace Owens specifically,
Mhm.
not just with what he continues to say about pushing the boundaries and being a little more fluid when it comes to his expression and his clothes, but again, in that Instagram caption, like I'm thinking, Harry, you need to put bring back manly men on a t-shirt because I will buy
Yep.
what you're selling. But my thing is when he says, it doesn't have to be X or Y, those lines are becoming more and more
Mhm.
blurred, and he even calls it exciting to wear what he wants if that involves wearing a skirt that traditionally has been, worn by women. I find it
Mhm.
confusing that other people don't understand that. People like Candace, or why they're so pressed about it. Because I feel like whatever definition you have of a man, I'm going to assume if it's a traditional reflection of what you think a man is, that is because it is
Mhm.
a social construct. You know what I mean? Nothing more and nothing less. So it's just like get off your high horse and let this man wear what he wants.
I will say, as much as it irks me that she is getting attention from her comments, I will say I do feel like it does push the conversation forward in a productive way. So I would never applaud her for this situation, but I applaud how Harry handled it. I'm not gonna lie, I was very surprised that he actually acknowledged it, but he's doing it in a
Yeah.
productive way. And as long as you're pushing the conversation forward to help people understand where you're coming from, and I think that's beneficial. And he talks about how, right now we're in a time where everyone has to say something about everything. And in the issue with Variety magazine, he opens up about that political divisiveness among
Mm,
many things. He also opens up about quarantining, finding his
yeah.
own muses. And Denny, one of my favorite subjects that he talks about is his time with One Direction. He actually reflects on those 6 years with the band, saying that he learned so much. He goes on to say, when we were in the band, I used to try and write with as many different people as I could. And then he keeps it real, saying, I wanted to practice and I wrote a lot of bad.
Wait, listen, that's a great training ground, okay? Like, especially when
Mhm.
you're coming from, remember, these guys were put together on the show, The X Factor, that singing competition show, and they were literally kids, and this was the
Right.
beginning, the very beginning of their career. So, why not be part of one of the biggest global bands of all time and then be, so secure and confident in your skills to
Mhm.
go and do your own solo thing? And what's amazing is we've seen considerable success from each of those guys in that band. And in fact, Harry talked about the solo success of the fellow 1D members. He actually said, quote, when you look at the history of people coming out of bands and starting solo careers, they feel this need to apologize for being in the band. Like, don't worry, everyone, that wasn't me. Now I get to do what I really want to do. But we loved being in the band. I think there's a want to pit people against each other, and I think it's never been about that for us. It's about a next step in evolution. And Harry says the fact that we've all achieved different things outside of the band says a lot about
Mhm.
how hard we worked in it. Amen. And I love that he respects where they came from.
And look how much he in particular has achieved, especially recently. I mean, he has had one heck of a solo career,
Oh,
but now he was just nominated for his first ever Grammys, plural Grammys, because he was nominated for three of them. And what's so interesting about the Grammy nominations is for people like you and I, we're like mesmerized, right? Like the Grammys
right.
is the cream of the crop. Like when you have a music career, that's what a lot of artists aim for, but his take on his career accomplishments is actually very interesting. He told Variety that he doesn't put too much weight on that stuff, meaning the awards. He says, I think it's important when making any kind of art to remove the ego from it. And then he actually cited the painter Matisse. He says, it's about the work that you do when you're not expecting any applause. I'm like, as if we couldn't love Harry Styles anymore. He reminds you kind of why you do the things that you do. And it's not about the glitz and the glam. It's not about the trophy on the shelf or anything. I'm pointing to a trophy. I don't have a trophy over there, but it's not about that. He keeps it real. He keeps it true to himself.
And speaking of, like, while looking ahead to 2021, he also said that he's looking forward to a time where we can all dance again. Amen. But at least we can bank on him showing up in something fabulous at the 2021
Yes.
Grammy Awards. Okay? January 31st, CBS, mark your calendars.